Hey, so it's day 44, and I have days where I feel good, but the symptoms cycle in this weird pattern. It's like a time release thing. The great thing is the symptoms are less intense, um, and they don't last as long now that like they used to. Also, I have some good days, and those seem to be coming more and more, where I have more good days, not more than bad days. Day This is day 44, and I'm really shaky, um, and I have a sore throat all over again, and I've been coughing and stuff this morning. But anyway, I feel okay. Like it's not as bad as the first 2 weeks. They'll like my COVID outfit. I've tried so hard to keep a positive attitude through all of this, but it's been hard. Day 40, 2 and 43 were actually good days, 2 good days in a row, and I took advantage of it. I don't regret it. I feel like crap today. Again, the cycles, it just keeps going. Um, sorry. Uh, oh, yuck. Sorry. Um, I was so fine yesterday as far as the head cold stuff, but it cycles. And so a lot of people are like, oh, you look like you're feeling better. And the truth is, I am feeling better sometimes. In between these cycles of like cold symptoms, I feel totally fine and normal. And that's the weird thing about it. Like I call it the phantom flu, or 51st dates with the flu. Day 44. I'm struggling this morning, but if the cycle goes like normal, it will pass, and I will feel fine this afternoon. And then I'll do everything that I need to do for the day or whatever. But I'm probably just going to rest for a couple of days. Like I said, I felt really good on day 42 and 43. I took advantage of it. This is it, you guys. Life goes on. After 40 something days of going through this over and over and over and over, it gets maddening. Um, and I'm trying to figure out how to live my life with COVID, long COVID, post viral syndrome, whatever the heck you want to call it. I'm trying to figure out how to live my life with it instead of just like I have been doing, stopping life altogether. Anyway, so sorry. The 2 days before that, I had 2 really good days in a row. The 2 days before that were horrible, like two of my worst days I've had in a while, but nothing like the first 2 weeks. So at this point, I'm just trying to get through the cycles. I had a really good day yesterday. So we'll talk about that and why I decided to go out. And when I say go out, I don't mean around people or in public, because again, I don't want to take the risk that I am contagious, which I don't think that I am. But just something to get out and about for like an uplifting moment, because I needed that. Hey, so a quick update about how I'm doing, and I'm not feeling very good right now, so I'll try to make it quick. Um, in case you're just catching up and you've missed the last 42 or 43 days, I have COVID. So the first 2 weeks were like this full on head cold slash flu type thing, all upper respiratory. I never had any infection or pneumonia or fever or anything like that. About day 5, I started having heart trouble. I started having problems with my nervous system and or cognitive function, losing time, getting the shakes, all kinds of weird symptoms, and that has persisted. So I still get the flu symptoms and cold symptoms off and on. They still cycle in the same cycle, but they're less intense, which is good. It makes me feel like I'm over the hump with the majority of it. However, I took a turn for the worse. I think it was Christmas Day, and honestly, I don't even remember. Like I missed Thanksgiving and Christmas both. It's just all such a blur. It's been like 43 days, a month and a half. that I've been sick. And I think it was Christmas Day that I developed a new cough that concerned me, and a different, like I woke up feeling sick all over again. And I had a slight rise in my temperature. So I was like keeping a check on that, keeping an eye on that. And that night I had a pretty rough cardiac episode. Accelerated heart rate. It went up to like 158 beats per minute. I broke out in a hot sweat. I'm like, okay, it's time to call 911 or go to the ER. But I managed to like get through it and bring it back down, which is what they want me to do. Anyway, I went through a really rough couple of days, feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm getting sick all over again. Like it really messes with your head, COVID, because it cycles. And just when you think you're feeling better or, oh, I've turned a corner, boom, it just knocks you on your ass. I've got the shakes again now, not really hard like before, but just trembling, which is weird. Yesterday I had a good day. Yesterday I felt good pretty much all day, and I felt clear-headed. I didn't have the brain fog. And but prior to that, I was getting exhausted. I was really starting to go down the rabbit hole. I was after 42 days on the couch, I mean, it's one thing if you're just in quarantine or dealing with a pandemic stress or this or that. I've been dealing with that since March too, the same as everybody. But after being sick for 42 days and thinking I'm getting better and then crashing and having, really rough couple of days, scary couple of days, I just started losing hope. I started thinking, this is my life now. I'm just going to be sick and I'm never going to get to go hiking again. And I'm never going to see my waterfalls again. I'm not going to be able to get to them. And I'm like, everybody just wants to talk about the survival rate or mortality rate or blah, blah, blah. And nobody thinks about what it's like. I mean, is this living when you don't get off the couch for 40 something days and you don't know if you're ever going to again? Because if you just get up to maybe take your dog out or do the dishes or start a load of laundry, then you're having a cardiac event, That's not living to me. Like if I can't dance in the kitchen, I miss concerts, but at least dance in the kitchen. And I'm okay. I can compromise, okay? Like I can compromise on all the stuff we can't do. And I did a really good job with that. But COVID is a whole different story. Like being sick makes it all different. And I got to a point where I was absolutely losing hope. I was getting to a point where saying things in my head like, if this is how my life is going to be now, what's the point? And I look, I'm a strong person. I've been through a lot of stuff. This is just hard. It's really hard. And anybody who's actually going through it, you know what I'm talking about. You have those moments where you're having to just, get through one moment at a time and just talk yourself through it and reel yourself back in and say, okay, everything is all right. Like I'm up and around. I can get myself dressed. My dog is good. He's laying here behind me. We're fed, and just breathe through it and get through another day. But I've had a couple of episodes where I kind of, was losing it a little bit. And I felt myself kind of slipping down that hole the last couple of days and just feeling hopeless and feeling like, I don't want to live like this. I need to get out, not just because I need to, not a selfish thing, but for my mental health. Because, like if I lose the will to live or I'm not enjoying my life or there's no joy in my life or I don't have, anything to live for or look forward to or anything except chocolate. I ordered some chocolate. Anyways, but like being serious though, like I was getting bad. I was getting to that point. And so I decided yesterday, I felt better. I kept a check on it and I looked at the weather and today was going to be nice. And so I decided, okay, if I feel well, if I feel clear-headed enough, if I feel stable enough to drive, I'm going to go and sit by the river or sit by a waterfall. And I was really smart about this. Like I specifically picked waterfalls I could get to very easily without, any major hiking or climbing. That was the plan anyway. Like I was, very smart about it. Like I kind of was calculating risks versus rewards. I don't know if you can see this, but see how red I'm getting right now? Can you see that? I do, this just happens. I start getting really flush, and I can feel my heart rate. My heart is starting to pound again. And I always kind of get flush. That's a newer thing when that happens. Wow, what a pretty color. Anyway, what was I saying? So I really kind of like mapped it out, and I said, if I start driving and I don't feel well, I'll pull over. Like I made like a backup plan for everything. So I was like, I'll pull over if I have to. I'll call the local police station and tell them I can't drive myself back. Like I'll do whatever I have to do. But I was going to do it if I could and drive. And so I had a couple of places picked out. Now, another thing I factored in was it had to be somewhere with service. So in case I got into trouble, I could call 911. And the third thing I factored in was it needed to not be the most remote waterfall. So I narrowed it down to the waterfalls that would be heavily trafficked, even on weekdays, because they're popular spots. So there would be people around, that I would have signal in case I needed to make an emergency call, and that I felt I could get in and out of easily enough. And so I was being very smart about it. But at the same time, like it probably wasn't, super smart for me to go out. But you have to understand that I was at the point where I needed to do it. I said to myself, like if this does me in, then so be it, because laying on the couch is no life to live. I just can't, like, I need some semblance of hope. And so I went out, and just with intentions of sitting on a nice bluff with a nice view, and I made you this great video. With no sound. I ended up feeling pretty good, and I ended up doing more hiking than I expected to, and I might have overdone it a little bit, and I'm okay with that. So don't judge me. Like, you have to understand that quality of life is part of your overall health and well-being. And if you don't have like hope, and like hope is the big word, but like if you don't have something to do or something to look forward to or something to just make you feel good for a minute, just for a minute, you get to a point where you start questioning whether you want to get up the next day. And I'm sorry that that's kind of morbid or hard, or whatever, but when you get to that point, I just want to tell you, look, you're not alone. If you've, you just do whatever it takes. I don't care what other people say. I don't care what other people think. I don't care if they're like, you're gonna like blow your heart or blah, 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 or whatever. Like, whatever it takes for you to want to get up and keep going, you do that. Because you know yourself better than anybody else knows. You know what you're capable of. You know what you're not capable of. But you got to take care of you, like in here and in here too, and your state of mind is everything, because you're the one that has to be strong enough to get yourself through whatever you're going through, right? I mean, people can help, people can try to help, people can say nice things, but at the end of the day, when you curl up on the couch or in bed alone at night and don't know if you're going to make it through the night or not, and you're thinking about all your regrets, and you're thinking about everything you can't ever do again, or it starts getting that big in your head or whatever, you're the one that has to pull yourself through those moments. So that's what I did today, and I'm glad I did. I have a feeling I'll have a setback and I'll need to rest for the next couple of days, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it was worth it. No matter what happens from this point forward, it was worth it. I needed that more than I can say. And yet I'm exhausted. I'm shaky. I'm flush. My heart rate's accelerated. I got nauseous when I got home, but I made it home safe. So anyway, let me just fast forward and show you the pretty stuff and the fun stuff now. I'll take you along with me on this hike that I went on today. Hey, do you remember the time I sat on the top of Rock House Falls right there? And I showed you this view. So that's Cane Creek Falls, and I showed you that view last time from the top of that bluff. Now I feel like heading back over there. What do you think? So I made it down to the creek, and I'll turn it around and show it to you. I climbed down that. And I know, but I am monitoring my heart rate. I am keeping tabs on it. I'm a little bit shaky, but otherwise I feel okay today. So I do have my whistle for safety. But I am headed to the top of Rock House Falls. So let me turn this around and show you. I am just gonna follow the river down, but it is like 40 degrees and I'm not in my water shoes. So I'm gonna hang the left bank and climb over that and get to the top of Rock House Falls. A little bit adventurous for my condition, but look, if I have to sleep for 2 days after this, that's gonna be just fine. Yes, I have the shakes again, but I am here. And I'm happy to be here. So, whoo, mercy, that's making me dizzy. Anyway, I'm gonna go sit on the top of a waterfall and I'm gonna let it heal me. Or I'm gonna blow my whistle and get some help getting out with the two, but I can't live my life sick. I don't wanna live sick. I wanna live well, and at the very least, if I'm gonna go, I might as well go on the top of a waterfall where I belong. Okay, so I don't know, I got a waterfall before the waterfall. The big waterfall is down here a little bit. So I had to climb this behind me. Oh, can't really see it. Anyway, I gotta figure out a way. In the summertime, I just climb down the waterfall. So I gotta find a way, I think, around the bank. It's too cold to get wet. So that's my goal, is to climb that way. And this pretty little waterfall here is just tiny compared to Rock House Falls, which just through the trees there drops off into a hole. Wish me luck. Just taking a break. I made it on the other side of the waterfall, but I came through that. It's kind of hard to tell what was solid ground and what wasn't. I'm sitting down and taking a rest for obvious reasons. So just taking a break, but I'm so close. Really kind of was a little more ambitious than I planned, but we'll see how it goes, and I'll rest for a couple of days if I have to. I just need to get out. Hey, so I made it. I'm gonna try to hold this so it doesn't shake so much. You would not believe what it took to cross that river. And I didn't get wet. I got a little mud, a little bit of mud, a little bit of blood. Not too bad. But the view is so worth it. So worth it. So I'm gonna turn it around and I'm gonna show you what I came here for. That's Cane Creek Falls. We were looking at earlier. Isn't that beautiful? I love bringing you along with me. Bear with me here, I'm a little shaky. And this is Rock House Falls. So I came upriver. And you've seen me do the cable trail before. That comes out down there. And in the summertime, I love to bring my float and float in this pool. There's an overlook over there. There's people. Hang on, I'll show you. A little bitty. See? Way up there. Just so you know, I'm not the only one that likes to be at the top. So they were getting a good view of both waterfalls. I made it. It's absolutely beautiful. There's something to waterfalls and waterfall therapy and the way that they ionize the air, I think it is. And anyway, so I just thought, if I'm gonna feel like crap, I might as well feel like crap with a beautiful view. I do think getting out is going to be a little bit more challenging, which is usually always the case on my hikes. So I'm up for the challenge, I think. I'm not over the hump. I'm not feeling 100%, but best seat in the house. But now I have to cross the river and climb back up that thing. A little bit of rock climbing, not a lot. A little bit of off-trail adventures. But I think I got this. I got this. And then I'm back to the couch. Right. I'm on the ground. I got the shakes. But I wanted you to know that I am taking this seriously. And I am taking breaks. That's why I'm on the ground. The climbing back out was a little harder than I expected, so I just stopped and sat when I had to, like now. So I don't know if you'll be able to tell or see. I just climbed up that. Kind of hard to tell, I think. Anyways, so taking a break. Taking 5, and I'm gonna make it to the car. I am. Behind me. That's all that's left. So I'm gonna make it to the car, and I'm gonna have another break, and I'm gonna make it to the couch. This is what I do though. This is my life, being outdoors. Yes, now I'm laying down. But usually I'm just like super fast and very adventurous, and people have a hard time keeping up with me. I'm okay with that though. I'm okay with slow-mo. I'm okay with taking it easy. I'm okay with having a nap on the path. Or taking a break or whatever. I will get back where I was. I will. Always forward, never back, right? Imposters. Yeah, I miss being like fast and strong and adventurous and all that stuff. But now I'm actually feeling my real age. But it's good just to be outside is good. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to be grateful. I'm getting emotional again, but I'm just going to be grateful for that. You know, the fact that I got to get outside today, and I made it. I'm almost there anyway. And I needed this so bad, you guys. I needed this so bad. Like, I was literally about to lose my... So, when I first got here, I did a video, and I'm so bummed that I didn't have the audio on. So, it was like I had so much cool stuff to say, and I have no idea what I said. Anyway, I want to show you where I was when we first got here. Up there. That's where I was sitting. Right there. Pretty cool, hey? I'm sure that I had something amazing and awesome to say, but I have no idea what it was. But as you can see, I made it out. I'm feeling okay. I don't have any of the cold symptoms today. Kind of a snotty nose earlier, a little bit of a cough, but mostly I'm just concerned about my heart rate, and fatigue is definitely not got my energy back yet. But hey, look, it feels so good to get out. And let me show you the sky real quick, and then I'm going to drive home. Isn't that beautiful? I'm sick this morning, the day after, but it was so worth it because now I feel confident that I can figure out some way to live with this instead of just not, living at all, like maybe on my good days, which are better than they were before. I'm having better days in between being sick like this. And so just having that to hold on to and look forward to and think the next good day I have, I'm going to do something again really great that makes me feel amazing. Obviously safe and careful and cautious types of things, but you guys, we got to figure out how to live with this. We got to figure out how to get in tune with all of this, whether you're sick or whether you're well. Like living in a pandemic or living with post-viral syndrome or whatever the case is for you, whatever your heart is, I want you to figure out a way to find some joy and to find a way to live with it and to leverage the good moments and the good days. So find some point of gratitude. And the biggest thing for me has always been in my life, something to look forward to. And if you can have that and hold on to that, it makes the hard days worth it.